So I will be going over I'll be going over filtration and glomerular filtration rate. So first we're just going to go over the structures. So first we're going to look at the Bowman's capsule, which is a cup-like chamber. This is where the whole filtration process occurs. Here is a glomerular capsules, or also the glomerulus, and these little balls cells is the juxtaglomerular apparatus, which we'll go over in further detail later. So the Bowman's capsule is surrounded by epithelial cells, and this is called the capsular epithelium. It is continuous with the glomerular capillaries, which then is also covered with visceral epithelium. So first we're going to look at the atrials. So the blood coming into the glomerulus is called the afferent atrial. So it goes in, it gets filtered, the whole filtration process occurs, which then produces filtrate, which is a protein-free solution, and it is similar to blood plasma. So then it goes back into the blood, so then goes, once it gets filtered, it exits the efferent atrials. So now we're going to go ahead and look at the glomerulus capillary. So now we're going to look at the glomerular capillary. So here right in the middle is the glomerular capillary, and surrounding it are endothelial cells, which are called fenestrated endothelium, or the fenestrated capillary. And then right here we have a podocyte, and the podocyte prevents large molecules from being filtered by the kidneys, and it can also contract and relax in order to regulate to increase or decrease the gaps between the visceral epithelium. And the visceral epithelium are just what surrounds the podocyte and surrounds the capillary, and it's made of epithelial cells. So which is all the green part. And these finger-like projections are actually called pedicles, and they're so close together that they can also be really narrow, and in between them are the gaps, as mentioned before, which are called filtration slits. And then there's also mesangial cells, which are part of the juxtaglomerular apparatus, which actually consists of 3 special cells. But in this case, we're only going to go over the mesangial cells. So the mesangial cells' function is to contract and relax in order to alter the glomerular filtration rate. So it's kind of like the endothelial cell, which does the same thing. It contracts and relaxes in order to dilate or constrict the capillaries, or actually they're also found in the atrials. So these mesangial cells, so that's what the function of the mesangial cells do. So now we're going to go ahead and look at the pressures inside the Bowman's capsule. Okay, so the pressures occurring in the Bowman's capsule are the hydrostatic pressure, colloid osmotic pressure, and net filtration pressure. So first we're going to start off with the hydrostatic pressure of blood, but actually the correct term is the glomerular hydrostatic pressure. The only reason why I called it blood is just so that we can understand that it's the pressure coming out of the capillaries. So here the pressure tends to push water and solute molecules out of the plasma and into the filtrate. The colloid osmotic pressure draws water out of the filtrate and into the plasma. So in other words, it just opposes filtration. The hydrostatic pressure of filtrate, which in other words the correct term is a capsular hydrostatic pressure. The only reason I called it filtrate this time is so that we can understand that it's the pressure coming from the filtrate into the capillaries. And here the pressure opposes hydrostatic pressure of water, which tends to push waters and solutes out of the filtrate and into the plasma. And then finally we have net filtration pressure, which is a net pressure acting across the glomerulus capillaries. So in order to calculate net filtration pressure, you would have to use this formula, which is glomerulus hydrostatic pressure. And so glomerulus hydrostatic pressure minus the the glomerulus hydrostatic pressure minus the colloid osmotic pressure plus the capsular hydrostatic pressure, and then you'll end with the net filtration pressure. And that right there is filtration and glomerular filtration rates. Thank you.